Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you here to my stream. My name is Finkaisen alias the Executive Creator for the actual Zibo mod. And yes, now official, since the last update 3.40.21, my mod is official in native integrated in the Zibo mod. I've tried to do a stream yesterday, but unfortunately, yeah, I got so much updates in the last few days, so everything updated, also my stream program, and some changes there on the voice wasn't like I would, and yes, finally I deleted the stream because I got so much issues there, and yeah, I do not hear my voice myself. Hopefully now everything is fine. We will do our flight today here from Düsseldorf to London Gatwick. Oh, it's not Gatwick, London City. I could go for Lima Charlie. And the very steep approach there will be a hard landing today, I think. Hopefully everything will be fine and we will get the plane down safely, and all the passengers also. So, departure is in 45 minutes, as always, and we'll get up and set up the plane from cold and dark, as all my stream renders know. So, thank you very much for joining in, and we will start with the beginning here. So, we fire up the batteries. We'll check G handle is down, screw green below, screw green above. That is good. And the electrics are off. Very good. We'll do the battery test there and the fault in-off test. Yes. ABU check. Very good. So ground power to on, dome light to on, panel lighting fire up. Emergency exit and ground call is fine, so close and start the electrical pumps. Lights to steady and wheel light to off, and we will start outside check here. Let me know if you want that I'll leave my checklist here for the outside walk on it. Meanwhile, I can do it without, so I will start that here. The probes and vents are fine. Blocked, nothing blocked there, and everything is fine. The raw dome surface and the lightning diverter strips are also good, and nothing damaged. The forward E&D door is not simulated, but there. Chucks are in place, wheels are fine, not wear. Gear structure is looking good. Wheel well light is not simulated there. Wheel spinner is not simulated. And we remove the bypass pin. Also the base here are fine, nothing damaged. It will close, and we continue ahead with the props and vents. Also fine. Good, and the emergency exit handle there, and the door is flush and surface, and also the door is closed. There's the static port for the first officer and the captain on the tone, and also the alternate static port. But in the flashlight here, alternate static port is also nothing blocked, and we continue. The door is closed. And there's the ram air inlet is free, which is for the air conditioning packs for cooling. That is fine. There's also nothing blocked there. Probe, and we continue ahead with the LED lights are looking fine, and nothing is broken or damaged. And the leading edge flap is fine, and continue to the engine number 2. So the main vortex is good. No bird strike or anything else. Also the fan blades here and the TET12 sensor is looking good for the temperature measuring. General condition, no oil leak there, and the engine door is closed. The thrust reversers are closed and stored, and the exhaust is looking fine. Nothing damaged there. It looks round. No damage, so that's very fine. Already the doors here is closed. The fuel tank vents here are flush on surface, 6 on each side and 3 on the bottom of the plane. And also here the refueling is looking good, nothing obstacle. Leading edge flap there are also fine, and the static and steady lights fine. Stop lights and static discharge switches, 2 of them on each side are looking fine. So the ailerons and the flap fairings 1, 2, 3. We continue ahead with the right main gear. Wheels are fine, the brakes looking good. Gear structure in general, all the pneumatic lines, no oil leak there, and everything is looking good. No loosen bolts or anything else. And here the APU handle is flush on surface, and everything is dry, and everything's working good. So continue outside. The bay is closed. Go backwards. This door also. Continue to the negative pressure relief valve with this flush and surface and closed, and the outflow valve is open, very important. And here the door is closed, and the probes are fine here in the vents. The tail skid is undamaged, and the outflow valve is nothing unusual. So we continue here with the horizontal stabilizer and the exhaust. Nothing blocked there, and the strobe is fine. The vertical stabilizer and the rudder is looking good. Also the discharge switch is there on the top. And one probe here on the left side and one probe on the right side. Good. And the vertical horizontal stabilizer and the around there. So static discharge switches on the left side and also on the right side. And it's generally in the middle place here, which is very good. So same as on the right side. We continue on the left side. The door is closed. Here also water drain mast there. Yeah, looking fine. Here the same. The wheels are fine. No wear here, and the brakes, G-structure, no oil leaks there. And also take a look inside the wheel bay. Very good. Also fine. And we continue ahead. Go outside. Check the flap fairings. 1, 2, 3, undamaged. Yeah, very good. Ailerons. And static discharge switches and the strobes. Flap fairings. The leading edge flap here and the winglets. Here that leading edge flap is fine. Check the refueling vent here, nothing obstruction, and the fuel muzzling sticks are flush on surface. Yeah, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. And here the door is closed, and then thrust reversers are stored. Yes, they are. Also take a look on the back. Yeah, the same. Exhaust is looking fine. The door is closed. Here, the vortex looking good, nothing damaged. Same inside. Also touch the servers in place. The door here is closed, pneumatic door. Shut leading edge flap here, and the LED lights and the ram air inlets. It's also free. And we go to our last check. There's also a static part. Yes. And we are finished. So, jump into the cockpit. Outside check is done. And we jump into the cockpit. So, 9 minutes left. And the first thing we will do is switch off the barb here and take the refueling for the plane. So today the flight from Düsseldorf to London, which we need about 5.9 tons rounded. So fuel, weight and payload 5.9 tons. And get the truck there. There's coming. And we'll also start our ground service. Come on. There. Drive up. Start the service crew. Yes. And open the doors. So, very good. Doors are open. And we continue with our workflow. So, start here with the takeoff config. Gear handle is down. The left and the right one, both together. Takeoff warning test coming. Sound was coming. Check the flaps are in up position. They are. Speed brakes are down detent. Initially 5 unit. Their parking brake is set. Cutoff switches to idle and stop trim are on normal both. So we do now the cockfire test, which needs AC power. Yes, it's coming there. Very good. And we continue here with the pedal still. So fire up panel lightning, flood lightning. Manual G extension door is closed. And the halon fire extinguisher is filled and wallet. P6 circuit breaker panel. Nothing popped. Spare bulbs and emergency escape room is stored. And the flight recorder test is good. Mass speed warning. Store warning test. Mix selector to FLT for the jump seats. Here ESC electronic is working. Also the crew oxygen. So start the navigation. Flaps test here. SDS. Come on. Alignment time 8 minutes. Yes, aligning. Continue at here. Emergency escape rope is stored and P18 circuit breaker panel. Everything is fine. Crusher axle stowed and the documents are here in place. So we are ready to go. We will do the lightnings test first for the autopilots and the FMC. Yes, very good. Auto throttle is working. First officer also. Very good. So overhead lightning under redundancy for each panel lightning there. Every step I will do, you will check, you will find in my X checklist, which is now official in the Zibo mod, integrated. For any information or installation notes, you can continue with my Zibo mod, which is in description which is linked in the description below. You'll find that there. So everything's working there. Mr. P also, very good. So we are ready. Lights test is done. And we'll do the crew checks for the oxygen. Short and the long test, 5 seconds. Very good. Yoke lightning. Done. Thank you. Pedal lightning. Background to T, that is what I use. And timer date is UTC. Panel and lower the use on norm. And airport and territory, 40 nautical miles. Actual QNH in Duesseldorf, Echo Delta Delta Lima is... Guys, hopefully you will understand me. Please come into the chat and let me know. Yesterday I did a complete stream there with broken voice, so that's hopefully nothing we'll get today. So QNH is 1017. So switch on 1017. Also standby altimeter is set. Set the MFRA minimum flight projection altitude 160 plus 1000 feet. So 1170 is the height we will go there. Oh, come on, barrel mode. 170, yes. Continue to the right side. I think refueling is finished. Yes, it is. The same here. Short test. And the long test. Good. Yoke lightning here also. Main panel lightning. And the long GPWPS test. 5 seconds. Hold in for 3 seconds. So time is UTC, main panel on norm, lower DU to norm, brake pressure is normal, airport and territory, 40 nautical miles here, barrel mode, QNH is 1017 and the barrel is 1170, so for the minimum flight protection on the first officer side is also the same. And we are ready to continue. So the next thing is we will do the boarding. So let's take a look there how far we are. So technical will drive away, close the doors. Also the front door is not needed. I think the back door will be closed in a minute. We can start our boarding now. A half hour to go, so we are just in time. So we have 160 passengers here and a payload of 20,600 kilograms. According to my dispatcher, it's exact 20,600 kilograms, so we'll add this value here. So for set fuel weight and balance, first thing we'll stop the cruise. Payload is 2,600 with 160 passengers, which is fine. So very good. And start the boarding. and we will jump into the FMC and do the programmings. So, FMC, wing model is fine, engine ratings 26k, nav directors, actual position units. Take the GPSL data, take it, insert, and echo Delta Delta Lima here for the reference airport. Yes, it's matching. Any GPS data outside? Oh yeah, there. Take a look at this. NOS 51, yes, 16, 17, and Echo 006, 14, 45, 8 for the positioning. So very good and exact. We are on the right gate, and the positioning is fine. So route Echo Delta Delta Lima to London City. Echo Golf Lima Charlie. Flight company call sign is Terra-Fly 361 today. And company route Echo Delta Delta Lima to Echo Golf Lima Charlie is 01. Company route pre-filled, so very good. We can use that. Activate, execute. Set our departure. Runway 05 right is active actually. And we will do the Moto 6 Zulu departure. So Moto 6 Zulu. The plannings and the arrival is ILS 09R. Sumuk 1 Charlie. We are Lucy 1, so this will be our arrival. We will check that. And the progress page, so we have 325 nautical miles. And we have 334, so that is fine. And we'll check if the route have some discontinuities. This is fine. Go to the next page. Should take a look and compare the routes. We'll do that later in the briefings. So we set the performance here later on. We can pre-fill the RTE data for the winds. Also on the calculation. So performance units is the next thing we will do. Enter that values here. From SimBrief, zero fuel weight 62.7 tons, and reserves are the alternate and FINRES. Here 1.5 tons, and here 2.5 tons, 2.6 tons. So this are reserves. Cost index 35, and flight level is 320 today. Cruise wind from the top of climb. With it here, top of climb winds as 3 to 5 with 17. It's perfect. ISA deviation is 0. And transition altitude in Germany is 5,000 feet, but we control that again. Here, and transition altitude 5,000 feet. So, this is correct. Good. Next page, RT data, we pre-fill our wind calculations here, the average wind after the top of climb. So we will route up here again. That is Sogri. So we'll search Sogri. Sogri, there it is. Also here calculated. And we set the average wind, which is 316 with 30 knots. And execute, so very good. And we continue with the overhead scan flow. So that's the next thing. Flight controls A and B is off and closed, alternates up and closed, borders closed, yaw temperature on, navigation switches and display switches are norm. Yes, fuel temperature is fine. Center tank is not needed. We have more zero fuel in the center tanks. Crossfeed valve check. Valve dim and closed. AP generator mode. Chemistry LRT is closed and on. Drivers are standby powers closed. Bus transfer is closed. Wipers are not needed, panel lighting not needed. We can switch on the faster belts to on. Fueling is computed. And also switch on the window heats.
The captain has turned on the fastest seatbelt sign. Please recheck the security of your seatbelt.
We can close the AFT service door. Yes, it's closed. We'll check the gauges here for the differential pressure is 0 and also for the cabin clamp is 0. Very important. And go to the upper side here. Trim air to on. How many degrees we have? 16 degrees, so 3, 4 and 5. And select the PEX to auto. Flight level was 320 and the landing altitude in London City is 16 feet, so we'll let that 0. That is fine. Wheel lights to off, logo lights now to on. It's getting darker. Auto, engine right, auto, off, off, off. So everything is working fine. We will set up the MCP for our departure. So we do now our briefings. The briefing today is we will do a noise abatement departure here. NADP1 is required here for all jet aircrafts for the departure. That means we will do the noise abatement departure for the guys around the airport, not far away, but near to the airport, and we will climb up very fast, yeah, and we will try to reach our 3,000 feet as quick as possible. So, we'll see that later on. Good. NADP1, keep that in mind. We are on stand Bravo 10 here in Terminal Bravo, and our departure runway is 05 here from this side, so I think we will taxi there backwards, a pushback here, and I think we can continue. We are taxiway Whiskey Tango 1 or Whiskey here to Mike and Lima 9 or Lima 8, so we will calculate here with Lima 8 if ATC controller says we will get a shorter departure. So Lima 8 will be our calculation today. This is the airport here in Düsseldorf. Departing runway 05 right, 3,000 meters here, 9,800 feet. And we will do the Moto 6 Zulu departure. This here departure heading is 025, which is also set here at the MCP. Initially climb 5,000 feet also preset, and this is an NF departure, so nothing set here. Or further set, we need to be above flight level 210 at Moto. This is the only restriction we will have, so check that in the next page. Moto. Yes, flight level 210 above, that's fine. And no speed restriction there, only NETEX max 250. Yes, you will see that here. Max 250 F NETEX. This is interesting. Okay, normally when we are not about that flight level. Okay. Oh no, that is only for Motor 1 Hotel, Motor 1 Tango, because we will go here. And then you have got the speed restriction is 250 knots. So everything is fine here. Very good. So any other information there? No. Acid, climb gradient up to 3,000 feet airframe structure. Yes, ground speed 250, 90 km, initial climb 5,000 feet. Yes, very good. So this is our departure here. Roundabout, and we continue with the legs. Check that also in the FMC, and that is looking fine. And go to the legs page for the arrival. Leave there we are. Yes, Jacko. We will come here from Summon, and then we will leave here Jacko at flight level 90, which is already set, 9,000 feet. Very good. Next restriction are vectors here to the final from the ATC, and I think we may have to do their holding at Jekko, so that could be possible. Latest here at Lucy, so Lucy 2000 feet above, yes, 2000 feet, and max to 10 there. I think we'll slow down a little bit more. Good, and also then the final in at the airport in London City. So this will be our route and the briefings today. And we can switch that here. Check also now everything is on board, hopefully. Yes. So we can contact Ivao. And let us drive away that ground crew here and close the base. Also the front door. Thank you and very much for your service. Very good. Let's do the first checklist here. I will open. This is also now native part of the actual Zibo mod. Zibo integrated all my checklist, also the glacial checklist here. You can use that now exact as I do. I will read it here from my desk, so I will close it and you can check that here in the cockpit live. So the first thing is the safety inspection checklist. So surface and shocks are checked outside, that was done. Safety maintenance status was checked. Battery is on. Electric loading pumps are on. Landing gear lever is down. And ship's library were checked, yes. So safety inspection checklist completed. Before start checklist is IS mode selectors are on enough. Yes, they are. Gear pins removed, we've done that with the outside checks. Light tests checked here. Oxygen tested 100%, yes. Also here above for the crew oxygen. Your dampers are on. Yeah. Nav data and transfer switches are here also on. Fuel is 5.8 required and 5.9 tons on board. Fuel bunks on and center tanks are off. So community and IFE galley switches are on as installed. Emergency exit light is armed and fasten belts are on. Here. Window heats are on and air conditioning pressure is auto. Packs are on, left and right packs. And pressurization mode selector is set and auto here. Instruments are cross-checked, though for the departure is 0555,000 feet. And actually nothing other set. So also here that's UTC time and here UTC 1930, very fine. So hydraulics are normal. Yes, we will check that now. So check the system pressure here, 2800 pressure needs to be used and quantity above 81%, so that's fine. So hydraulics checked and speed brakes are down the 10, we have checked that for earlier. Parking brake is set, step cutoff switches are normal, wheel fire warning is checked, radius and rudder and transponder here is set and standby. We do not get any ADC code, we will do that in a few minutes. Rudder and ailerons, so aileron is here is 0 and also the rudder is 0. So PA, welcome message, we'll do now. The FMC is set, we can execute a performance and insert our performance values. I think we get the clearance first. Connect to the delivery, hopefully. Pick this DC controller. Actually in Duesseldorf. Yeah, we have a delivery, ground tower and also a center. So very good. We'll start with the delivery. Yes, information delta is actual. So, departing runway 05 right, transition level 060 into the 95,000 feet. You mark departure frequency 1 to 2. Was departure frequency 1 to 2 decimal 8? I don't think so. Oh? No, definitely not. Oh, definitely. It's 1 to 2 decimal 8 because it's lagging information only. Okay, no sender, it's only 1 to 2 decimal 8. So, very good. And the next frequency we will got is the ground. So, ground is 1 to 1 decimal 905. 1 to 1 905. We will pre-tune this here and get in contact with the delivery. Duesseldorf delivery, good afternoon, Terra-Fly 361 with a radio check on 1 to 1 decimal 780, please.
Terra-Fly 360, with you 5x5.
Thank you, 5x5, also Terra-Fly 361. Oh, that guy is very young. Yeah, we'll do now our clearance. And in Germany we request only the startup here at Bravo 10. Duesseldorf delivery, Terra-Fly 361 with the Boeing 738, 160 packs on board at Bravo 10. Request IFR clearance and startup to a destination in London City, please.
Terra-Fly 361, please check information Delta. Your clear destination London City Airport via the Motor 6 Zulu departure route. Climb please to 5,000 feet, score 1,000.
Information Delta is on board. Sorry, cleared London City via Motor 6 Zulu departure. Initially 5,000 feet and squawk 1,000. Terra-Fly 361. So,
Terra-Fly 361 will be correct for our push and start. Contact ground 1 to 1 905. Bye bye.
ground on 1 to 1 decimal 905 for pushback Terra-Fly 361. Good, everything is done. So, 05 right is also set. Score 1,000, 5,000 feet initially. So we have also preset this. And contact ground now. 1 to 1 decimal 905. And we can pre-tune our tower frequency, which must be 118 decimal 305, I think, yes. 118 305. So, preset, and we continue with our workflow. So this MCP is set. Set the flight directors here, and the course is also set. The bank is 25 degrees, and also reset the fuel and rates. Auto brakes to RTO. Fuel lever is down. This is also set there, and also some other restrictions there according the departure. Only that 115.15 for the VOR here for the outbound. Okay, so everything is fine. We close the doors. MCP is set. Also, the ATC is set. Start from under tracking client. I will start that now.
Duesseldorf ground, Delta Echo Oscar Quebec Lima, request taxi.
So, flight information.
Delta Quebec Lima, taxi heading point runway 05 right via Golf 1 and Lima 9er.
Okay, start flight.
Düsseldorf ground, can you repeat please, because my Lautsprecher war falsch eingestellt.
Okay, what was that at Lima
Delta
9er?
Quebec Lima, taxi heading point runway 05 right via Golf 1 and Lima 9.
Delta Echo Oscar Quebec Lima, taxiing to holding point runway 05 right via Golf 1 and Lima 9er.
So we'll do the next checklist here. N1 ES bugs. So this is a performance calculation we're doing now. I will bring up my performance tool here. Actually, takeoff. Let's get the latest meter. So for now, so latest meter is 070 with 9 knots. Cabot clouds 15 degrees, and 1 degree is the dew point, and QNH 1017. So this is very fine. So no guest there as some hours ago. So compute that here we got flaps 1 departure, flaps 5 takeoff 1 departure. So we have 24K with a slope temperature of 34 degrees and V1 speeds of 144 for V rotate and 149 for V2 and slope of plus 0.2% with a heading of 0.52. So this is these are the values for our performance. So in this here, as said, we have 34 degrees. We on this here, takeoff 1 departure 24K, takeoff flaps 5 and center of gravity is 5. Set. Go to the next page here and the wind is, we will update this again here, can write that. Slope was plus 0.2%, so up 0.2 and the heading of 0.25 is set. Runway winds are 070 with 9 knots. So
Liebe Klima,
is
kontaktieren Sie
needed.
Correction Kontakte auf und Altimeter 05. Good flight, bye bye.
Dry and acceleration height here. Thrust reduction altitude 800 feet, so this is fine. And we will see that now here for the NADP1. So NADP1 means we have a thrust reduction height of minimum 800 feet, which is also the rates here, and restore altitude to get our climb speed there. Our normal climb speed is 3000 feet AGL. So this is also checked and fine. So back on page 1, so calculate the V speeds here, 143, 143 and 149. I got 143, 144, 149, so this is quite fine and exact. And we can use this here. Very good. So 149, we said that in the FMC. 149. It's preset. Strap trim is 5 units, and we can continue with the checklist here. N1 ES bugs are auto and set, so 149 required, 149 is set in the MCMC, and also step trim is 5 units required, and step the FB is stored. Phones off, flight deck and window doors are closed. Here, here, and here is closed. Passengers are seated and the door are closed. So before start checklist below the line, above the line is completed, and we can plan our pushback. So 5 minutes ago. Hopefully there are no questions actually. NAT self-said Zibo just released version 22. Yes, Zibo is always releasing as I'm streaming. That is normal. Yeah. Never mind. I do the streamings or plan the streamings some hours before, so if I do this, Zibo do not have updated the actual version mod. I just looked before I start streaming, so there was 21 actually, and now it's 22, so that's normal. Zibo's updating every day, so that's fine. Good, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Start our leg. So, before takeoff checklist, configs checks, flaps will continue now, and yes, we will go on and contact ground there for the pushback. So, what we are doing now is we pre-plan the pushback, and we connect the pushback tow truck first, and we start the APU. Home ground service and better pushback, and request here and connect the tow truck first.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's taxiing there. A small plane. Anyone else here? Fortunately not. Yes, it's a smiley. I got daily updates via Zibo, so normally also the beta test then.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set parking brake.
Yeah, this set. So, ground on 121, this 1905. This is our ground frequency and request to pushback. So, Duesseldorf ground, good afternoon, Terra-Fly 361 at gate Bravo 10, request push and start please.
Terra-Fly 361, push and start approved, facing west.
Push and start approved, facing west, Terra-Fly 361, thank you. So, facing west, as I thought. So, we got, I think, the taxiway whiskey here. So,
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
this will be our pushback, I think. Yes.
How connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
So,
Starting pushback, and you may start the engines.
so start engine number 2. Oh, I missed that. This is when I want to do that fast. So, packs off, this also on, anti-collision lights to on. Now it's working. I missed also the checklist. Air conditioning packs off, anti-collision lights on, parking brake set, transponder is alt off. So before start, checklist below the line is completed. Let's pull on the wing lights. You see something more. Normally it's only used from the cruise to identify the eyes on the winglets.
On behalf of Delta Sky team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible. Allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in either wheels or handles first on either side of the aircraft.
That's also normal then. And this also. So fire up engine number 1. Wait for 25% M1. You can start earlier, but when you get a risk of a high start, especially when you are outside of Europe in the warmer areas of the world. You don't know what the risk of how it starts, so always keep their hand on the handle and pull it down if necessary. So.
Operation complete. Please set parking brake.
Okay, okay, good. Set parking brake.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
So, we do the pre-workflow.
Terra-Fly 361 for further instructions. Contact tower on 118305 because I'm closing now.
For texting, contact tower on 118.305. Good evening, bye bye. Good. And the next frequency 122.8.
Frequency?
So, yes, we set the parking brakes and generators to on. And the shuttle continues.
Gute hier, Wings 508, runway ILS 055.
And have a safe flight.
Wings 5928, wind is 05, correction, wind is 070 degrees, 9 knots, runway 055.
Why is the door open?
Clear to left, over right, here, Wings 5928.
We haven't seen that. Oh my dear. So, very good. Where's the pushback crew? There's a bypass pin. So we continue now with our workflow. So, flaps 5. For forward, center for back, center for left, center for right, center left rudder, center right rudder, center recall checked. Everything is fine. So, as he is delivery, ich bin jetzt ground. Ah, okay, good. Then we contact the ground again. That guys. Oh my god. Where's our ground? 1 to 1. That's my 605. Before it takes the checklist, generators on APUs off, status on continuous anti-air required, air conditioning packs are auto and bleeds are on, APU bleed is off, flaps 5 required and green lights set, yes. Start trim is 5 units required and set, yes. Start reverse idle detents, flight controls check, recall checks before it takes the checklist completed. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to taxi. Are we connected to the ground now? I don't think so. Let me check that. Maybe they missed it. Ground frequency? Did they change? Come on! 1 to 1, that's 1905. Okay. You used the other frequency. No, we are not connected. Tower is 18305, we will try that first. Yes, tower is working. And 1 to 1, this 1905. No, it's not working. Thank you. Try that here. Contact to 1 ground. We try this. No. Ah dear. Guys, please use the right frequency. So, jets, Echo Delta Lima, ground. Check frequency on tower first again. Fine. No. I get no response, so I will contact ground tower now. So, Duesseldorf tower, Terra-Fly 361 after pushback of Bravo 10. I try to reach the tower, the ground, but is not available at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to text him, I'll call you in a minute.
Okay, he's just writing me a message, I will try to reconnect. So we will wait a moment.
Okay, so long, just taxi to holding point runway 05 right via Papa 4, Mike and Lima 9. Taxi via holding point runway 05 right via Papa 4, Mike and Lima 9 at Terra-Fly 361. Okay, so
Bearings 5923 Lima 4.
Using 5928, you may try to connect the ground if he is not online, come back to me.
okay, I will try now.
Gesagt, ich soll
Ah, yes. Duesseldorf ground, Terra-Fly 361, now it's working. Request a taxi, please.
Terra-Fly 361, text to holding point runway 05 right via Papa 4, Mike and Lima 9 and confirm A for interception Lima 8.
Terra-Fly 361, taxi holding point runway 05 right. Lima 8 is possible, so we taxi via Papa 4, Mike and Lima 8, Terra-Fly 361.
Ground good, Eurowings 5928, Lima 4.
Takeoff config check.
During 5928, do you prefer indicator stand?
Negative.
Finally!
Eurowings
We got our
5928,
clearance.
text to gate Alpha 10 via Mike and Papa 2.
Ja, dann doch bitte was anderes als ein Non-Schengen Gate.
Please say again for Eurowings 5928.
Ja, dann doch bitte ein anderes Gate, weil Alpha 10 ist ein Non-Schengen Gate.
Oh, du bist in Schengen, stimmt, sorry. Tut mir leid. So continue taxi via Mike and taxi to gate Bravo 3 via Mike and Papa 3.
Bravo 3 war Mike und Papa 3, Eurowings 5928.
So, there's Papa 4. Luckily, we got a performance calculated here for Lima 8, so this is fine.
Terra-Fly 361, contact tower 118305, bye bye.
118305 for tower Terra-Fly 361. Thank you for service, bye. So next frequency is 121.122.8. So, finally, what a job. We will do the O checklist. So, before takeoff checklist, configs are checks, FAPS 5 green lights, and takeoff briefing is reviewed, camera is secured, before takeoff checklist below, above the line is completed. So, go ahead. And we will depart here from Lima 8 with an NADP 1 departure. London City.
Delta Echo Whiskey, wind is 7, correction, wind is 474 degrees, 9 knots, runway 05 right is clear to land.
Oh, there's someone there. Someone asked me last stream, why is here two signings here? Yeah, the Cat 2-3 and also here 05 right. There's also a safety position here. If you've got Cat 2 and 3 conditions, you will have to stay here for the entry. Otherwise, you can taxi a little bit ahead due to the runway view range. You will see there in that conditions. There's someone approaching. Terra-Fly 361, Lima 8, ready for departure.
Terra-Fly 361, line up behind, landing, Cessna 172, behind.
Behind the landing, Cessna 172, or line up the runway behind Terra-Fly 361.
Terra-Fly 361.
So, one-way turn off lights on. Parking brake is set, stop and steady. Enough to on, outer brakes are to this to RTO, and weather radar and terrain radar is also on. Very good. And set the transponder TARA. Sorry already. So MCP is set, transponder stereo, stop lights on, landing lights are on. Before takeoff checklist is completed. You will see that message here. Taxi light is not on because we are not taxiing actually. Entity self, would you please post me the updates for the new Zibo version 22? That interests me a little bit. Maybe it changed something in the latest version. Oh, jeez now. Yeah, Duesseldorf is also a VFR point. And that could be possible. But with this landing speeds, I could make an immediate departure. Take a look at the back seat. Get a drink. Come on here, get to the galley, get a drink here. Back to the seats. Come on guys. Please. Let me take off. Unbelievable. Improved and tuned servo yoke pitch. Yeah. And pitch modes. This is something I noticed, yes. Fuel temperature, yeah, fixed but enough descent depath above transition level. Toga approach, glide slope below 400 feet, radio altimeter. Yes, this is something we will see today in the approach. I've noticed this. Yes. Yeah, the fixed bugs, especially the last row, for the VNAV descent path, there it's a little bit buggy. You will see that in the version 21 now. And also the servo yoke for the pitch, especially when we will flare, the steep approach there in London City. Actually, you may notice that you will get hard landings actually. This is due to the servo pitches, and hopefully it will be there fixed with this version. We will see that. Come on, how long? Duesseldorf Tower, this will be custom regress taxes here. Unbelievable. Okay, only there's login information online only, and then our way to London. Actually, there's no ATC controller available. We'll take our route. Can close this. This also not needed anymore. Luckily I got some fuel in me. Oh, come on. Hopefully there's... well, I think the two must go around. Henry will try to land here. And it looks like he's calling tower now. Maybe he got a break. Or rejected takeoff. Finally, there he is. Here in Düsseldorf is higher runway accuracy time, so you have to leave the runway as quick as possible.
Two 1220, good evening. Wind check, wind is 070 degrees, 10 knots, number 2.
Come on, give us a clearance.
Terra-Fly 361, wind is 070 degrees, 10 knots, runway 05 right, clear for takeoff, sorry for the delay.
Clear for takeoff 055, kein Problem. See you next time, bye bye. So, 40% one. Toga. So now we see the NADP1 departure, so speed is climbing. Thrust is the predicted takeoff 192.5 units, indication is normal.
80 knots.
80 knots, release the color.
Rotate.
Rotate. Climb 2.5 degrees. A second.
Positive rate.
G up. And you will see now the NADP1 conditions. We have to
400.
set the V2 plus 15 to 20 knots, and this is when we activate the autopilot. At 1000 feet, so autopilot is active, and you will see now the switch paged up to 169. NADP1 is the flap app speed here in the trajection at 3000 feet AGL, and we'll switch to Unicum now. So very good, and we will do the after takeoff checklist. So gear is up and off, brakes are off, and APU is off. No, APU is now off, and engine such is to auto, and bleeds are on auto, on left packs auto, isolation is auto. We can release the crew, and E10 button. So 3000 feet AGL. T1100, 3200, and then we continue with enough pass. There's a pitch up, and we will flaps retract. Flaps 2, speed check, flaps 2. Flaps 1, speed flaps checked, flaps 1. And speed check, the flaps up. So set the heading back. After takeoff checklist, air conditioning pressure is set, engine settings are auto, landing gear is up and off, auto brakes is off, flaps up now, lights and altimeters will be set in 1000 feet, so after takeoff checklist will be completed in a few seconds. So 5000 feet is our initial climb. We will stay there for 1 minute, and then we will continue climb to our flight level 320. So 5000 feet, chronometer 1 minute. Stand-up mode. There's also something Zibo changed in the last versions here. The standard altimeter do the same things as now the main altimeter do, so that is very fine. So, arriving there up to London City, a 1 hour flight, so we'll be very close. And we have to hurry up a little bit when we talk something. So 1 minute. So the next altitude is flight level 320. Set, ultimate button, and we will start our climb. Climb mode CLBT2. Climb thrust is 87.7, indications normal. We're on the way. Just passed our NADP1 departure for the houses and the people next to the airport here roundabout, so this area. With an NADP2 departure, which is standard and usual in the US, you can set the flaps up speed there at 800 feet above ground level. That is then an NADP2 departure. So, yeah, we will definitely reach motorhead flight level 210. Everything's fine. So, next page. Moto flight level 240. Yes, passed. So we can close that. MC is flying that. And we got to our pre-cruise check there, 10,000 feet. Eight, 9, and 10,000. So landing lights off, runway turn-off lights, taxi lights off. Also the local lights are not needed. And we'll do the same checks as before. APU is now off. Yes, perfect. Auto, and differential pressure is 4 units climbing. Cabin pressure is climbing 500 feet, or feeling like 500 feet. Preservation mode selector is on auto, and bleeds are on. APU bleed is off. Packs are auto. Isolation valve is auto, so we can release the passengers and set the cruise lightning here, white and bright. Next one is the PA system. For everyone who just tuned in, we are on our way from Duesseldorf to London City, and if you want to use the checklist, which I normally used in the past and I offer for the Zibo mod, you can find it in the download description below. Also the Terra-Fly Liberty and every additional chart I will use. You may haven't seen that, but I will show you now in the next minutes, because we will do now the descent checklist here and everything else for the calculation, because it will be a short flight. Normally we'll do this 80 nautical miles before the top of descent, but actually we can pre-fill everything now. So fire up this here and also the briefings. The first thing is we will do is the descent page for the descent winds. So this is something to get the perfect top of descent point. So flight level 310 320 we have, so we use 310, 200 and 100. And the winds are 279 with 16. I need a new mouse, I think. 279 with 16 and 148 with 3 and 108 with 80 knots. So these are the descent winds to get a proper descent calculation in the FMC. We also have to find the transition level. You will see that the transition altitude in the charts, in the approach charts here, which is 6,000 feet here, transition altitude, and which is not the transition level. There's a layer between, and I created this. Also, my stream users they haven't seen it. A document which is available in the download description. This is for the approach configuration for the rear speeds, and also here from the transition level. So transition level is here plus the transition altitude at the local QNH. So that means we have 6,000 feet here for the transition altitude, and an actual meter. Let's check that here. Echo Golf. Echo Golf Lima Charlie, yes. Sensi it is. Actual meter there is a QNH of 1017, so we are here in the middle, so we're at 1000 feet. This is nearly perfect. It's not quite exact, there are also some differences there, but this is so minimal, so you will get a proper transition level in 99% of the cases, so this is fine. So we have here 070 for the transition level, and the local QNH is 1017. So very good for this. So execute this. The descent forecast finished. And we set our fixed information, so runway will be 09R. Yes. We set the radials, slash 4.5 is the fixed range we will have there to be established at the full proper configuration, especially when we will start the descent here that ILS pass. Yeah. Normally I will at the 10 nautical miles ring also, but you will see it will start at 5 nautical miles, so this is a short approach here, and the 10 nautical mile ring, which is normally used to be there at flaps 5, I will start latest here at Lucy. Yeah? So I do not use any further fixed rings, but I want a proper descent calculation for the top of descent, so I will calculate it manually. I will check the descent path if there are some restrictions. Yes, JECO. So we have to descend there from a JECO, which means 9,000 feet. So we are above that level. We continue and start a manual descent point there from JECO. So 9,000 feet are the difference. So runway 09er. We enter this. And I set the 3 times that flight level. So this is 27 nautical miles. So this will be our top of descent. The descent there from there's also 4 nautical miles. Where is it? Yes. This is our manual descent point here to start latest here before JECO. Yeah, or after JECO to be there. Since we passed JECO at flight level 900, that we get into a proper height there. I also want to add top of descent ring. That means we have to be at JECO at flight level 980. Also, I will add JECO as top of descent point here. That is JECO. And now set the difference between flight level 980 and flight level 320. So that means we have there 1,000 feet and 23,000 feet. So 3 times 23,000, that is 69, and we add 10 nautical miles for the level of 10,000 feet. So 79 nautical miles ahead. This will be our top of descent point to be at Jekko for the manual calculation. So we check that. Yes, you will see that here. This is our calculated top of descent path here, and this is the top of descent path from the FMC calculated. So this is really fine and matches. So there's not much difference, and this is a general thumb rule here, and this is working quite exact. So 3 times your actual height to the distance you want to descend, and then add 10 nautical miles to your actual level of at 10,000 feet. So good. I changed that first ring here. I missed something because we have to be there at 2,000 feet at the established local height there. So we descend on the 7,000 instead of 9,000. So 7,000 is 3 times 21. So good. This for our manual diesel calculation. We will see if it matches, and we will pass now flight level 300, and we can select the bank 10. Also gets a level of the message. Take a look where we are. Is there any DC controller? Now we turn then right. Yeah, you will see there's our first descent point. So 18 nautical heights ahead. We have to start our landing calculation. So QNH 1017 and auto-generated weather 060 with 7 knots. The runway is 093, so we have an off track of 33 degrees, and we have 7 nautical miles wind. So we'll check our wind calculation sheet here. We use definitely flaps 40 today, and the first thing we will have to use is we calculate our gross weight for the approach, and as good as you enter the descent winds for the top of climb, for the top of descent, and also for the average wind with the RTE legs page, and then you will get a proper calculation for the fuel. So, and let's check that here for the progress. We have 4.2 tons actually, and we will get there at 3.2 tons, so we have a fuel burn of 1 ton actually. So we have actually 66.8, we minus 1 ton, so we have 65.8 tons for our arrival. And we will override that value here, and you see now the calculation in 149er. We select this, and this is something, when you change that here, you will see it goes back to 66.8, so we have to enter that manually every time when you want to calculate that value. So the difference is only 1 speed there, but sometimes this makes a difference, especially during rain. So when you're doing this during the cruise mode, you will update this on final, or you calculate it with the difference of the fuel and the subtractors from the actual gross weight. Yeah. So wind correction value +5 is normally pre-filled here on the FMC, and I will show you now the calculation according to the wind sheet. This is also here linked in the description below. You will see that document there. You can open it if you want. So I said we have an off track there of 35 degrees. Yeah, 33 degrees. 093 and 060 comes the wind from. So this is 33 degrees. We use 30 or 35, the best from the both of them, because we will do a manual landing there. So we have reapproach, and which means we have re-ref plus 50% of the headwind component, and if gas plus 10 knots. So what we are doing now is we have an off track of 30 to 35 degrees, and we have 7 knots, so we are below 10 knots. So we have a value +5. So this value is correct, and we double click it here. If we have gas, which was a few hours ago there in London, we have to add 10 nautical miles, so we have a wind correction value of plus 15. But the maximum is max 20 knots. You will see that here. These are the maximum landings for 50% headwind component. Yeah. Be there also if you want to use that values, yeah, and if you want to perform a Cat 2 or Cat 3 Bravo landing, you have a maximum landing headwind component there of 12 knots. So for example, yeah, you have here a value of 5 degrees off track and for example 26 degrees with gas here, so we have a headwind component of 30 knots, and you are not able, yeah, to do a Cat 2 landing there, only a manual landing, yeah. This is just an example. The same I have done that for the crosswinds here. Check if you are in the operational limits. So we are off tracks 30 to 35 degrees below 10 knots. So we have a crosswind about 5 to maximum 6 degrees from the side, and the maximum crosswind component limit is 33 knots. So this is also the values here calculated from the FCOM. And if you want a tailwind landing, you can use this here from the lower table. Yeah. So everything is working here. Also, Zibo is calculating the swing values here in the fuel weight and performance landing calculation. Here, if you add this winds here, see we add this 09er wind comes from 0607 knots, 0607 knots. And QNH will be 1017, 1017, and out is 14. I can't change that mist approach climb gradient, but it will be much more than 2.5 degrees today. So flaps 40 landing, landing weight is the value we calculated here. Actually, we'll check that again, 700 kilos, so 65.9 tons actually. 65.9 tons. And it's calculating also a reverb at +5. This is what we calculated here. If we Zibo is doing the same calculation as I do here, yeah. You will find that here in the FMC, but one thing Zibo is missing, that is the gas. Yeah, if you remember, you will hit. You have the gas. Yeah, you have to add that 10 nautical miles, and you have to stay there in the limits, because if you pass 22 or 20 knots, you have to flap up to the next position. Yeah. So we have +5, 147, and our runway length. Yeah. What is our runway length? Check that. 1,500 meters. We will go definitely auto brakes. Max auto. This is something we will use. Max auto. Otherwise, runway couldn't be enough. And I think we will stop there for the turnaround place here, and if not, we turn around, but this is normally not common, so the normal turnaround place here for the backtrack is here at Foxtrot. So, time to check our fuel and the chat, if there's something written. No, not yet at the moment, so very good. And no ATC controller on our way, so I can switch back to the chat to you to see what you're writing. Let's do our yoke checklist here. Descent preservation, landing altitude is 0. Set anti-ice is not required. We have no clouds detected. NCD means that no clouds detected. That is from auto-generated weather. And so anti-ice is not required. Approach briefing is discussed. I've done that earlier here at Jacob flight level 90, and then we get normally vectors here from the ADC controller. We fly that manually here to Lucy, and then we will do the Cat C, yeah, that's category C. 737-800 is a category C aircraft. So we do the outer strings 305 outbound. From Lucy, distance 5, we turn in there bank 15, I think. And bank 15, and then we'll go straight ahead to the runway, and this will be very tricky here. So at distance 3.4, we will do that steep approach. We got a 5.5 descent rate there, so we'll see our approach speed is actually 154 154. So we have a descent rate here around about 1400 till 1415 FPM per minute. Yeah, so this is very high. That's nearly double the normal. Yeah, we've got puppies on the left side and high alts on the approach lightnings, and the missed approach is distance 5 from the ILS, and then the left turn back to Lucy. And our decision altitude is for category Charlie, as I said, 737 is category Charlie, 460. So reset and set 460 for the ILS today. And anything else? Yeah, distance ILS DME reads 0 at distance 9 threshold, so this is fine. And yeah, we can tune in City Tower if a controller comes online, and if you get a late clearance. Actually, there's no one online, but we will set this 188.080, so this is fine. And pre-filled, set the NDB there, Lucy 322 set on standby, and we will set this here in the standby ADS. And we have the ILS frequency of 111.15, so switch this to active. 115, we need only one, not two. So missed approach, yeah, well, we can select both. Normally I will set the VOR, but there's no VOR available, so everything is fine, we can select both. But I will switch on the ADF2 here, because I will get the 322 NDB from Lucy, so as rather the backup. So 0983, we can select also 0983 here, already set, so we are ready for the approach. And the only thing is we will do now is the next thing here on the checklist. So approach altimeters and instruments are cross-checked, yeah, we just do that. 0993, 0993, and the ILS frequency are both set. So approach briefing is discussed and approach aids are set. So we are ready, and we are just before our top of descent, so perfect in time. I think. Yeah, where we are at the moment, I think I will they're in Brussels, Verben, just over the sea, and they're direct to London. So there's the coast. I want to show you normally the descent now button. This is available 40 nautical miles in front of the top of descent. When you activate this, you have to pre-select there an altitude first. I think it was 9,000 feet. Yes, 9,000 feet. Select this here in my MCP, 9,000 feet, and activate the descent now button. Check, and you will see it descends 1,000 feet per minute, up to the time when the normal tip of descent pass will catch you, or the descent pass will catch you. The advantage of this value is, or you may notice this on your personal flights, when you descend 1,000 feet per minute, you do not recognize this. Yeah? Pressurization working panel is also working, doing a good job. You will see the descent rate, you will feel that actually at about 150 to 200 feet per minute when we are doing a decent rate of 1,000 feet per minute, so you don't feel that, you don't really feel that. And this is something you may notice when you're doing the flights personally. you're flying, and then you're looking out of the window because you hear something going on, because that is on when the normal glide path will catch you. You will descend a little bit steeper, and then you will get the descent rate around about 500 feet or 600 feet per minute, and this is something you will notice from the difference. And then you will look outside and see how far you are, yeah, and you will see, oh, I'm near on the ground, what's going on, and then there will come the message for the approach, and this is something you will do then normally at about 20,000 feet. You will see then the different glide paths catching us. Actually, we are still descending here with a feeling of 100 feet per minute, so you will never feel that as PAX. So switch back to 25. So descent rate is rising. So we'll see now 2,500 feet per minute, and the differential pressure is actually 400 to 500 feet per minute for the cabins. So yeah, since now you will feel that. When you're doing a long flight, you will definitely do that with a slower descent rate, that your brain and your ears will get a little bit friendlier for the descent, especially on long flights. Good. Let's check that. Yeah, we will reach checker there at flight level 980, so this is fine, the green banana. And then check us, the next thing here is an ADC controller. Normally London goes online at this time. Unfortunately not today. We will see, we will see. Maybe we are lucky. Let me check if there's any other plane landing at the same time. Some planes will arrive a half hour later. So we are the first one. Everything is fine. And we are on our way down to the Earth. 20,000 feet we can now select the descent message.
Folks from the cockpit, starting a slow descent at this time. We would like to ask you to return to your seats, fasten up your seatbelts for the duration of the flight. Been a pleasure having you on board with us. Thanks for flying with Delta today. I can fly attendants. Go ahead and prepare the cabin for our arrival, please.
Good. So we can switch on the fasten belts. And there we are. We can close that. So check you at max to 10. Check that also here on the next page. Check you at 210 below, so there's the descent point. Decel point, sorry. I think we have to use the speed brakes. Because this way here is very, very close. And I definitely will be there at flaps 5. And here, latest flaps 15. And then we'll do turn around and we got to final configuration there. Just for the descent. And then I will do the ILS. But I think I may disconnect and will fly that manually. And hopefully we do not want to crash there with that steep approach. I will definitely try that again with the newest mod, version 22. And I think then it will be better there for the arrival. So select the approach mode here. So everything is set, so we are ready for the arrival. And we will check our speeds. So, Sumo then 19 nautical miles. We will calculate our fuel actually. Or we compare that. Where's the briefing? So, Sumo. Normally we do this with longer flights. I will check this only once now. With longer flights we check that general often to be sure that you do not have an oil leak or engine leak in the fuel tank. Yeah. So Sumo we need to have there 3.2 tons and we have 3.6 tons, so we are absolutely fine and 300 kilos above our actual value. So everything is good, and we calculate the fuel again. We need around about 300 kilos till the arrival, so 65.9 tons was also the value we calculated there. Pause button. We calculated during our cruise mode. Yeah. So you will see if you enter these values for the wind calculations and the top of descending, everything else, you will get a really exact value for the arrival. You'll see 300 kilos to burn, and now 65.9 tons, so everything is fine there for the arrival. Yeah. So let's update the latest meter. You can also hear that here.
Echo, Golf, Lima, Charlie, airport information, Romeo 1920, Zulu, weather, wind 050 at 9, visibility 10,000, sky clear, temperature 15, dew point 3, QNH 1017, advise on initial contact, you have information, Romeo.
Oh, so the different weather now.
Echo, Golf, Lima, Charlie, airport information, Romeo 1920, Zulu, weather, wind 050 at 9, visibility 10.
Okay, and this is an old weather. This is actual. So Jeko, there we are, max to 10, and we need to slow down now. I think we have to, we need some drag then. 10,000 feet also. Yes, I will definitely use the speed brakes now. Flight attendant is the maximum mode you can use during a flight. So we slow down max to 10. We'll do that manually. We will go there to flaps 1. Set flaps 1 speed. So,
1,000 to go.
Checker will be definitely below 210 knots. Normally I'm the person who is doing the latest flaps position there for the arrival, so I will try to keep the speed as high as possible to reduce the drag and the noise for the packs and the surrounding houses as good as possible. But you will see the distance requires such low speeds. So, next altitude 2000 feet.
1,000 to go.
There's also a missed approach altitude, so we can keep that here. So where we are, there's London. There's above our top of descent for flight level 090. And this is our second calculation we have done, you remember, in the beginning. Our calculation for the top of descent from flight level 90 to 2000 feet. Also, the sum rule is absolutely exact. So, use the sum rule and you will always get the proper calculation for top of descent. Okay, there's sometimes the top of descent is a little bit far behind. That is due to the fact from the winds. So, if you have winds there which are very heavy in front of you, some headwind component is very high, then you can descend later on, that's no problem. I use always that sum rule here and I start initiating the manual descent at this stage there, and I will be always there in the right height. So we have done everything. Calculation, brake performance. We set our approach. We discussed the approach briefing. We passed Jaco. So we are now on the way to a final approach fix. No ATC controllers available actually. So we will fly this as proceeded and official written here. But keep in mind the descent rate here around about 1400 feet. 1450 I think. So we'll stay on the same height here, 2000 feet, and then we'll initiate the descent. And then you will definitely see why Zibo changed that code. I've tried this once today to see how it works, and with the actual version 21 I've actually, you will see that it sometimes it do not catch the glide path or not quick enough, especially doing that steep approach. This is the reason why Zibo changed that values. Also the trims and the cells. Good. London is very busy, and there's so much traffic here. Normally, this is the reason why you fly only with that slow speeds here. The ATC controllers have so much to do, so they reduce the speed as good as possible. Anyone else here? Thought there's someone. Definitely. Was it an airport? Yeah, that's the reason why the speed restrictions are far away from London. There are so much airports around about London, so Heathrow, Gatwick, and London City, and some also. So the airports are very busy, and there's so much traffic here in the air, and you definitely need some space between them. And yeah, this is one of the reasons. By the way, do you notice that the traffic there in China is growing actually? So planes are back in the air and they're flying there in Chinese, and hopefully we will get back into the air as soon as possible to when the COVID-19 will leave that situation here for our planes. So get back into the cockpit, we'll be fine. So there's London, and there is London City there in front of us. Not seeable at the moment. Let me check. No, we are the first for landing inbound flights. So this is set also here, and ground service, cabin lightning, takeoff and landing, medium, and do the PA. We'll set now latest here our standard QNH 1018. Variable winds, 14 degrees, 1018, so nothing changed there. This is so long. But we are coming now to our top of descent. Our second one. $200 kilos. That changed with the flap setting. 65.6. That flaps one burns a lot of fuel. $65.6 tons. No difference, still 149 plus 5. So on top of descent is coming. And there at the airport. London City. That little band here, 1,500 meters. Very short. And with that steep approach, okay, there's traffic. Also descending. Good. We are prepared. And you will see how close it is. Well, this is very, very short here. This is more a small turnaround here for the plane. So I will get flaps set Lucy. In the London charts, there's also written for the arrivals that they have to keep the approach speed of max minimum 160 knots up to distance 5 for the approach. So you will see that here on the airport chart. Arrival condition, where it is. No, not here. Use of the APU, parking, other information, speed restriction, there it is. Yes, normally issue speed control in section 106 until distance 5 from runway 09, or latest distance 6 from runway 79. So pilots might reduce speed distance 1 prior to the distance without reference to ADC. Otherwise we have to contact SAM's director. So we'll try to keep the speed up as long as possible, but definitely above 160 knots. So we are descending. I will also ground the cabin crew now, because these are some steep turns here, and I want that everything there and the galleys needs to be installed. Normally they will do this now and latest on the ILS with a 3 descent of glide slope. They're trained and they can install the galleys, but definitely not at 5.5% though. That's definitely not possible. They need some time to store all that equipment, and this is why I ground the crew now. Yeah. So very good. Ground and cabin landing will be the next 6. This is our airport here below us. So, select the heading mode, and we will now set flaps 5. Set flaps 5 speed. So approach speed was 154. So 3,000 feet. At this point we will get an G down flaps 15.
Thousand to go.
Oh, we can do it a little bit later. That's fine. There you will see that 2000 and 2000, so I will do that here, G down flaps 15, and then set the landing flaps to 40. That we will can start the descent there. Look at that beautiful scenery. Oh, awesome. There is our landing place. You see how close it is. That's nearly a circling here. Oh, it's more than a circling. Than a regular approach.
1,000 to go.
So guys, wish me luck. 6.8 DME, I'll select now gear down flaps 15. Engine start just continues. Checklist down to flaps, landing speed brakes down to green. Landing gear down to green, and speed brakes armed. Auto brakes is set to max. And next taxi lights is now on. And select flaps 30. 154. And flaps 40. There's our runway. So, we are ready. That will be interesting. And we will see how good it works. Can we use maximum quality, hopefully? Yes, I think that's possible. So. I will use auto mode. Well, max quality, yeah, that's looking better. $25 is fine. Yes, there it comes. Oh my god. I'm so afraid. Oh, now I will switch to auto mode, that's better. Oh, but it looks so bad. Oh, isn't it? I need good frames here. Yes, you will see that there's something I noticed. We missed that glide path. The servers did not work. And we have to descend manually to catch a glide path here. You see how steep that is.
Slow. 1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
Oh my dear.
Approaching.
I'm too slow.
9.
I'm too high, yes.
500 minimums.
Think rate. Think rate.
400.
Think rate. Think rate.
300.
Think rate. Flight
So,
slow. Flight
200.
200. Too wet, too right. Oh, come on!
100.
Now I don't turn around.
30. 20. Long landing. 3,000 feet remaining.
I will definitely do a turnaround. So G up, flaps 15. You see that you can't catch that glide slope again. That's definitely something. I have to concentrate.
Thousand to go.
Come on, our sort will work. Thank you. So, the same thing.
1,000 to go.
What are the servers doing? Okay. We will stay there on flaps 15. Oh, flaps 5, sorry. And select flaps 5 speed. And we keep that 2,000 feet here. And then we'll do again approach. Yes, I know that, thank you. Programming arrival alice 09er. And Lucy 1 again. X. Yes, try that again. Missed approach. Another try. And this is, you definitely see why there's a problem with the servers, and Zibo fixed that. It didn't catch the glide slope, and the servers works do not fast enough to catch the glide slope, and then it passed it, and yes, I will fly that manually now. Right there in the chat. Echo Golf Lima Charlie. Traffic. Next approach. Runway 09er. Now inbound. Lucy. Approaching runway 09er. Good. Let's update our fuel calculation and our approach weight. 300 kilos from now, so 64.9. 64.9. 48, one speed less. Update the latest meter if there are any updates. Variable 5 and QNH 1018, so this is fine, auto brakes are fine, and we can leave that here on wind correction +5. Everything is good, and we will do now the approach again. Car roads at London City here are very common, so such continuous recall is checked. Landing there is not ground, so I'll put this up here. Speed brakes armed. Yes, 3 armed now. And we are ready to go. So this time I will be there in the final configuration, definitely before the top of descent. And I fly this manually. How huge was our reserves? .5 we need for the alternate. 2.5. Yes, we are now using our FINRES of our reserves. So, you're ready to go? Gear down, flaps 15. Let's speed to 15. Okay, he's passing Salco. In the middle of the point I will select flaps 30 and 40 to final. Approach speeds are now 153. So 153. Set. So landing gear down 3, auto brakes max, flaps 40, taxi lights are on, and just continues. Landing gear down to green, so recall check. Yes, speed brakes on, green light, we are ready to go for the landings. So this time manually. Be prepared. Like the single channel. Okay, I will prepared now if it do not catch us. Maybe that's working now. I will see that. If not, I will disconnect. So I will switch now. Speed. Okay, glide slope is coming. I disconnect now. Initiate that manually. Okay, so aim 1400 feet. Descent rate. Use the speeds. I need some to be there steeper. See how steep that is. That is awesome, guys. Oh my dear. Okay, back up profile.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude.
Yes, turret to right. Now we are a little bit too high.
Approaching 09.
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
500.
That is good, that is good. Continue.
300.
Think rate.
200.
Think rate.
Yes.
Think rate.
100.
Think rate. Think rate.
50. 40. 30.
Think rate.
20.
Think rate.
10.
Oh, come on.
Long landing. Long landing.
Ah.
3,000.
Max manual brakings. Reverse thrust. Okay, we missed that point. Oh, a little bit longer flare. Yeah, that was awesome. Oh my dear. Oh yes. But we got grounded. That was close. So, turn on this taxiway here. Oh, my heart. Oh my dear, that was awesome. Okay, that works. Due to the fact. Oh, let's do the after takeoff and the after landing checklist here. Probe stop, start the APU. How far we are? LC traffic. Backtrack. Runway 09. Nice, yeah, definitely. I think this was my first try here. This was definitely a good try. A little bit longer flare, but as you can see, I missed. I definitely have to reduce or initiate the descent manually. Hopefully, with the update, it will be solved. So, flaps up, good. This to 0. This also to off. It's the approach to 100. APU is there. Now we hurry up a little bit. Medium. And I will leave there with intersection echo for the traffic. There we are. So, runway landing lights off. Steady. Terra mode. And we will search out a good place. Just right there that we are cleared from the runway. EGLC traffic clear by 09. So take a look. There is free space. Yes, we can use the plate there. We'll use that gate here. That is looking good. Oh my dear, my heart. I definitely want to see that in the replay. So switch that to off, off. This also off. This here to off. Runway and taxi lights off. Yes. In there with it. So normally I will switch off the second engine, but I need the thrust there for the turnaround. Good. Very good. Just parked and let the parking brake, shut down engine number 1 and engine number 2. So, see that here. Hopefully the guy landing. Wait until 20% and 1, there we are. And we can these fasten belts. Pastillation valve off, ampule on, electric pumps to on. And now where's ground power, hopefully? Transponder 200. Open the door. And the door. Can set up the panel lighting. So this will be our last flight today, so switch off this here, also the cabin. We'll see, we have aimed 28 degrees and we'll reach that perfectly. Oh, That is very good. Pegs to off in position, displays to off. And into ground power when... Now it's not coming, so we select their ground. Very good. Switch off the engines. Right. Yaw damper to off, and navigation lights also to off. HDG SDS. So we are ready. Panel lighting to off. This here to off. Also the MCPs to off, not required anymore. Nuke lightning, main panel lightning, background lightning, flood lightning, and take a look outside. Maybe the other one is just arriving. There he comes. We will definitely take a look at his landing, and then we can compare. Is it raining? No. I thought it looks like it's raining. So, this is done. Last checklist for the shutdown. Fuel pumps off, electrical on, fasten belts off, window heats off, PROVICE and auto on off, and anti-ice not required. Electric, auto pumps are off, voice recorder is off, yes, and air conditioning packs are on auto and off. Later for the secure checklist, MBUR secure lights off, start shield light off, yes, stop and steady, and set this wing lights also to off. Very good. So, weather and sea radar is offline, and also terrain radar, so we are ready. Shutdown checklist completed, secure checklist also, so can let this here to offline, and the battery is to off, and we will see that landing. Just in a moment. Home, terminate the flight deck, ground, disconnect the GP. Well, there was someone. Okay, that is strange. Why is it landing from his side? Okay, good. I will select now here my FS Airlines client and deliver all my packages and close that flight leg here. And I watch the landing from the SAS. What is he doing? There he comes. Come on, show me where you are. London city is definitely challenging. And you definitely need some practice here for the landings. Especially for the flare, which is double than twice or 3 times the normal for the pitch up. There he is. Okay, here's a long flare. Go around, go around, go around. Did not land it. Did a long go around. Definitely will go around. Don't he? Uh-oh. Ooh. Close than we are. Good. Okay, he landed. Okay, let's check our landing now. So we disconnect from the Ivao servers and check our landings. So, thank you very much for all who stayed here on the stream, and we will do now the replays. Before I will close the door. That's not looking good. So close the doors and the base. They closed? Yes, they are. So, we're doing the replay now, finally. Replay, start this. That's close. That is really close. Compare our landing. I think it's not better. There's the pitch up. Oh, sounds good. Better than I thought. Check that again. This is steep. This is definitely steep.
4,500. 500.
I've done this only once there
400.
at an airport nearly Italy to
200.
the northern Italy. There's also an airport here in the...
100.
Oh my
50,
god.
40, 30.
You see that pitch up? That is so high. Ow! But definitely a good landing. That flare I have to compare.
3,500. 200.
Ah, sorry, I can't. You can see the flare.
50, 40, 30. 10.
Yes, very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do this now here, and then one or two approaches there from the outside view, and then we are ready for the strip today. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, not bad. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will let you hear in the stream. Have a nice day. I will start the replay from the banks. Yes. And I wish you all the best for the next time. Stay safe and hazy, and we will hear us next time for the next stream. So if you like that video and everything else from the content, thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That will be nice. Wish you all the best, Juven Kaisen. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.